They want to see you hurt. They want to see you angry. They want to see you react, lose your temper, lose your calm, and lose control. Because only when you react do they feel powerful. Only when you get angry do they believe they have entered your mind. And only when you break down do they know they have won. The people who hate you do not need weapons. They use their eyes to challenge you. They use their words to trigger doubt. They use their silence to burn holes in your heart. And what they fear the most is not your retaliation. What they fear is you standing there, calm, quiet, unmoved, as if their existence no longer has any meaning to you. The world will always have people who want to drag you into the mud with them. But Stoicism teaches us something most people never understand. You do not need to strike back. You do not need to argue. You do not need to hate. You can hurt them in a way they never expect. You do not need to lift a finger. You do not need a single insult. You do not need a battle. You only need to live by one principle. One principle that Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius used to defeat those who wanted to destroy them. One principle that made their enemies crumble under the weight of their own hatred. You do not take revenge through action. You take revenge through superiority. You do not respond with hatred. You respond with unshakable strength. And this calmness, this silence, this self-mastery is what hurts those who hate you the most. In this video, you will uncover 4 ways to hurt those who hate you without touching them, without spending even a second falling into their emotional traps. These are not tricks. These are psychological strategies that help the Stoics survive, rise, and triumph during some of the darkest moments in history. If you have ever been belittled, hated, betrayed, backstabbed, or ever wanted revenge so badly that you lost sleep, then watch this video closely. Because from the moment you understand these 4 principles, no one will ever be able to hurt you in the same way again. And anyone who hates you will end up hurting themselves. Now we begin. Ways 1, radical reframing. The danger of those who hate you does not come from their strength. It comes from the way they make you look at everything too closely. They want you to focus all your attention on them. They want you to react, to get angry, to fall into the emotional trap they set. But an enemy cannot hurt you if they cannot enter your mind. And this is why Stoicism uses radical reframing as the first psychological strike. It is a strike that requires no counterattack and no retaliation. You only need to change the angle from which you look, and their entire power collapses. Radical reframing is the ability to see hatred not as an attack but as an exercise. When someone insults you, the average person feels diminished. But a Stoic sees an opportunity to practice calmness. When someone envies you, the average person feels irritated. But a Stoic sees an opportunity to strengthen focus. When someone tries to sabotage you, the average person wants to strike back. But a Stoic sees an opportunity to train the ability to remain unmoved by the chaos around them. This shifts you from the position of being attacked to the position of an observer. It shifts you from a victim to a practitioner. Marcus Aurelius wrote a legendary line, "The obstacle is the way." The people who hate you think they are blocking your path, but they are actually widening it and deepening it, forcing you to step into a stronger version of yourself. Every time they push you, you learn to stand firm. Every time they smear you, you learn to stop relying on the judgment of others. Every time they try to make you lose your calm, you learn to become sharper in self-control. The paradox is that they are the ones training you to become stronger. And that is something they never want to admit. Epictetus is the strongest example of this. He was born a slave, beaten, and treated cruelly, but instead of letting these things break him, he saw them as tests given to him by fate. When his master twisted his leg until it broke, he simply said with calmness, "I told you it would break." That was not blind endurance. It was absolute self-mastery. He understood that he could not control others' actions, but he could control the meaning he assigned to those actions. And when he changed the meaning, pain lost its power, humiliation lost its weight, the enemy lost its strength. Radical reframing allows you to destroy the illusion of power that those who hate you believe they have. They think that when they speak badly about you, you will feel insulted. But you see that their words are only echoes of the insecurity inside them. They think that when they attack you, you will collapse. But you see that the attack reflects their failure, not yours. They think that when they try to push you off your path, you will lose direction, but you see that they are the ones who have no path. When you reframe successfully, every action from your enemy becomes harmless. Not because those actions disappear, but because they no longer hold meaning. Look back at the people who once hurt you in your life, the ones who criticized you, envied you, or caused you to lose faith in yourself. They once made you suffer, but as you stand here now, more mature, stronger, and calmer, you realize that they were the ones who pushed you forward. Without them, you might never have learned patience. You might never have learned stability. You might never have learned how to master your own mind. The enemy you once hated was actually the trainer life sent to you. Radical reframing does not require you to forgive immediately. It only requires you to change the question. Instead of asking, "Why did they do this to me?" ask, "How is this making me stronger?" When you ask the right question, your emotions shift. When your emotions shift, your perspective changes. When your perspective changes, power changes. The enemy thinks they are burning you with fire, but they are actually forging you into steel. This is why radical reframing hurts your enemy in a deep way that no punch ever could. Because they eventually realize that every attempt to harm you only makes you stronger, calmer, and more formidable. And they, not you, are the ones left behind in the anger they can no longer control. Ways 2. The Fortress of Indifference. There is one thing those who hate you will never admit. They do not actually want to hurt you. They want something much bigger. They want to control you. They want to see you pulled out of your own calm. They want to see your eyes shift, your voice rise, your actions lose control. Because in that moment, they believe they hold power. But Stoicism gives you a method that makes all that power collapse instantly. It is simple, silent, and ruthless. That method is building the Fortress of Indifference, a deliberate fortress of purposeful detachment. This fortress is not the cold emptiness of someone who cares about nothing. It is the clarity of someone who understands that not everything deserves their energy. It is the calmness of someone who knows that their emotions are their most valuable asset, and they do not give that asset to those who intend to destroy it. You do not fight fire with fire. You remove the oxygen their fire needs to burn. You stand there, quiet, and let them burn themselves in their own anger. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events." This is the foundation of the Fortress of Indifference. People can insult you. They can lie about you. They can try to damage your reputation. But none of these things become weapons unless you allow them inside your fortress. When you refuse to open the gate, they are nothing more than meaningless winds hitting stone walls. Imagine your mind as an ancient citadel standing on a mountain peak. Strong winds roar, storms crash, lightning strikes, but the citadel does not move. They can shout, they can threaten, they can spread rumors, but you do not react. And that lack of reaction hurts them more than any response ever could. Because their power comes from your instability. When you do not waver, their power disappears. Cato the Younger proved this in a way history still remembers. A man in the Roman Senate spat directly in his face. Every eye in the room turned to Cato, waiting to see what he would do. But Cato simply wiped his face and continued his conversation as if nothing had happened. That was not weakness. It was a clear declaration that the man who insulted him did not possess enough power to disturb his calm. The entire chamber instantly understood who was truly humiliated. Cato's silence accomplished what no argument could. In modern life, the Fortress of Indifference is the shield you carry when you walk into toxic environments. The coworker who enjoys attacking you can say whatever they want. You only need to keep your voice calm and avoid adding fuel to the fire. A family member who loves to mock you may try to provoke you. You only need to observe, smile, and acknowledge that they are stressed. On social media, someone may insult you just to feel powerful, but you do not respond. It is not because you are afraid. It is because they do not deserve even 1 second of your energy. The Fortress of Indifference does not turn you into a cold person. It turns you into someone who cannot be touched. You do not lose your calm over small things. You do not depend on what others think. You do not let the emotions of others become your own. You observe everything from a higher place. And when you stand higher, hatred looks very small. What makes this method ruthless is not your silence. It is the truth you force them to face. Their hatred has no effect. They cannot make you angry. They cannot make you lose self-control. They cannot pull you into their chaos. And when they realize that every strike they throw only hits empty air, they feel a pain you did not need to lift a hand to create. The Fortress of Indifference is where you stand when you want to tell the world that you are too busy building your own life to be shaken by souls who are burning in their own fire. And when you stand in that place, the person who hates you is no longer a threat. They are only faint echoes below, while you stand above, calm, quiet, and unbreakable. Ways 3, ethical reversal. If the first two methods help you turn hatred into strength and keep your mind untouchable, then ethical reversal is the most silent yet most painful counterstrike against those who hate you, because it forces them to confront what they have been trying to avoid, the smallness of their character when placed beside your calmness and virtue. Ethical reversal is not fake kindness. It is the act of living by your principles even when standing in front of someone who wants to drag you into the mud. And that is what hurts them more than any form of revenge. The person who hates you always expects one thing. They want you to become like them. They want you to get angry to prove that you are weak. They want you to respond with venom so they can see you fall to their level. They want you to slip out of self-control, fall into chaos, and lose your composure. But ethical reversal destroys all of these expectations. Instead of responding with anger, you respond with clarity. Instead of toxic words, you choose honesty and truth. Instead of arguing, you maintain your calm. This breaks them not because you act with great force, but because you refuse to fall to the level where they want you to stand. Epictetus once said that when someone speaks badly about you, respond by saying that they have not yet learned all of your weaknesses. The statement sounds humble, but it is actually a declaration that you are not threatened. You do not need to defend your image. You are not pulled into the meaningless battle they are trying to create. You defeat them gently. You take away the sense of power they cling to. And when they realize they cannot make you angry, they begin to feel their own weakness. Ethical reversal hurts your enemy because it forces them to see the meaninglessness of their actions. They mock you, but you do not react. They spread stories about you, but you do not lower yourself to explain. They try to pull you into their pettiness, but you keep your dignity. And this contrast makes them feel exposed. They understand that their hatred has achieved nothing. They understand that their bitterness does not make you tremble. They understand that they have never touched you. It is not because you avoided them. It is because you stand too high. Imagine someone hurling heavy insults at you in front of others, hoping you will explode. But you simply smile and say one gentle sentence, "I hope they find peace soon." In that moment, the one who insulted you feels as if they struck their own face. It is not because your words are powerful. It is because they no longer have any reason to continue attacking you. You do not give them a weapon. You do not give them the fire they need to burn you. You extinguish everything with a sentence born from self-control. Ethical reversal also turns you into a mirror your enemy does not want to look at. When they see your calmness, they are forced to confront their own chaos. When they see your principles, they are forced to confront their lack of principles. When they see you behave correctly, they are forced to confront the pettiness they carry inside. And there is no punishment more painful than facing oneself. This is what makes ethical reversal one of the strongest strikes in Stoicism. You do not hurt them with words or actions. You hurt them by allowing them to see the truth. And the truth is that you are not pulled into the battle they are trying to create. You do not need them to feel strong. You do not need them to feel valuable. You stand higher, cleaner, and deeper. When you hold your ethics in front of someone who hates you, you win in a way they will never understand. And that is the most beautiful, the sharpest, and the most painful victory for them. Ways 4, perspective expansion. There are moments when the hatred of others feels like a fire trying to spread through your entire life. A single insult can haunt you for hours. A contemptuous look can keep you awake at night. A petty action can throw your mind into chaos. This happens because you are looking at everything too closely. You are standing so close to the wall that you only see the cracks instead of the entire structure. Perspective expansion is the art of stepping back, rising to a higher level, and seeing the full picture. And when you do that, you discover a truth that those who hate you never want to face. They are smaller than you think. Their hatred is weaker than you imagine, and you are far greater than you ever believed. Stoicism has always emphasized that perspective creates strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal that the way to overcome an insult is to look at it from a higher place. Not higher in arrogance, but higher in clarity. Like climbing a hill and looking down at the small village where the conflicts occur. From afar, everything becomes small. The shouting no longer echoes. The angry faces blur. And you realize that what once seemed serious at the base of the mountain is only a tiny movement in the flow of a human life. The person who hates you wants you to stand close to them. They want you to see the world from a low vantage point, so their insult becomes all you can see. Perspective expansion destroys this. When you widen your perspective, you see your entire journey, not just the moment they attack you. You see the greater challenges you have already overcome. You see the people who love you, the achievements you have built, the progress you have made. What they say becomes nothing more than a faint noise within a vast picture. They are not the center. They are only a tiny detail that time will easily erase. Perspective expansion also shows you the true nature of the person who hates you. When you look at them up close, they appear powerful. But when you step back, you clearly see the insecurity behind their eyes, the failure behind their insults, and the bitterness behind every petty action. A person living a full life has no time to hate you. Only someone struggling inside their own life spends energy searching for flaws in yours. Think of the universe that Stoicism often references. A universe so vast that you and your enemy are nothing more than two tiny points invisible to the naked eye. Every word they say will fade. Every act of hatred will disappear. Every injustice you have endured will turn to dust with time. Perspective expansion helps you realize that you are not living for today alone. You are living for a long journey. And when you look from that perspective, the things others do to you become nothing more than wind brushing across your face. When you apply perspective expansion in real life, you begin to feel lighter. A coworker speaks badly about you, and you step back to ask whether it will matter 3 months from now. A family member attacks you, and you step back to ask whether it will matter next year. A stranger on the internet insults you, and you look from afar to see that they are only a faint shadow among millions. When you look further, the anger fades, the emotions settle, and what remains is calmness. Perspective expansion also does something those who hate you cannot bear. It makes you too large for them to reach. When you stand on a higher level, their hatred can no longer reach you. You do not need to avoid them. You do not need to prove anything. You simply stand in your rightful place, and they feel the crisis you never have to touch, the realization that they have no influence over your life. In the end, that is the power of perspective expansion. It does not erase your enemies. It simply shrinks them to the point where they can no longer hurt you. The world below may be chaotic, but you stand above it, looking down with the clarity of someone who understands that your peace does not lie in the hands of others. You do not take revenge. You do not react. You simply see everything from a perspective too wide for hatred to ever harm you again. When you look back at the 4 methods above, you will realize a simple yet powerful truth. You never needed to take revenge. You never needed to lower yourself to the level of the person who hates you. You never needed to fight the battles they tried to drag you into. Because Stoicism gives you something they cannot understand. Power does not lie in winning an argument. Power lies in not being pulled into it. Power does not lie in how strongly you strike back. Power lies in not needing to strike back at all. Those who hate you have chosen to live in fire. They hold on to resentment as if it were strength, unaware that it is slowly burning their own lives down. But you are different. You do not need their fire. You have the light of self-control. You have the calm they cannot touch. You have the distance they cannot cross. You have the steadiness they cannot understand. And when they see that, when they see you still standing tall, still calm, still building your life while they remain trapped in bitterness, that is the moment they realize their hatred has failed. Your victory does not lie in how much they hurt. Your victory lies in the fact that you do not need them to become the person you are becoming. And that is the deepest cut for anyone who has ever tried to harm you. If this video brings you clarity and strength, press like and subscribe to continue your journey of inner mastery. And if you want to make a promise to yourself, leave a comment. I rise above. Simply by living in alignment with your values, those who hate you will sink into their own anger. That is the real victory.